Hello everyone, SpeeDMan here, and ready to go back at it for episode 2 of our Let's Learn Gran Colombia series. So we're going to go ahead and load up, get everything started, and we'll be on our way to continue our progression through our deity run.
From the first stirrings of life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stone Age, to man taking his first upright
So we're
steps,
definitely in a
you
good
have come
position to
far.
continue growth. So
Now
really the
begins your
goal at this
greatest
point in the
quest.
classical era before we
From this
approach the
early
medieval
cradle
era
of
is really just
civilization
trying to
on
gain rapid
towards the
expansion.
stars.
By the
You could
end
have
of this
followed the
era,
whims of
hopefully I
your
will have
colleagues,
3 cities at
Sinon
least,
Bolivar,
and
but
just
instead
continue
you
that
chose to
growth spurt.
become
Just
the
keep
liberator.
pumping out new and new settlers,
Hardships never
getting the
dissuaded you,
growth necessary so
so
that way
hold
we can be
fast.
competitive in the mid game. So really, eventually settling up here, securing this settle here, and then setting up Reina here for trade routes. That'll be the goal by the end of this next era. So we have plenty of time until then. So that's going to be the main priority. So now we've got a trader being worked on. I'll send the trader to Guayaquil and then send that up north to Bogota. And then we'll go from there. And then what we'll do is we'll get another trader down or another settler down, settle here. Eventually, what we will do is really start working up a lot of those really important and necessary growth tiles. So we have plenty of pastures here. So this is a very nice little setup here that we could work with. You know, what I'll probably do is I will, once the city's down and I have a free turn, what I'll do is I'll take a builder here and eventually go ahead and harvest these resources here, particularly the feature. So take out the lumber and then replace that with a campus, and that'll be a good spot for that. So at least can gain some +1 adjacency bonuses. And then here, what I'll likely do is put down, actually, I'll go ahead and pop a attack for it. Right here is a nice spot for a harbor. It's a nice +4 harbor right here. You know, could probably maybe put the campus here if need be. That'll give it a little bit of adjacency bonus as a possibility, if I'm not mistaken. So it won't be bad. You know, really getting some really strong harbors going will be key. You know, 1, 2, 3. Harbor here won't be bad. Just that way I have a harbor there in Bogota, and that'll also allow me to continue working on the great people. As I am gaining a little bit of science, but I will start to catch up with some of the other civs soon. You know, ideally, if I were to be able to have enough cash to snipe this, that would be great because the libraries, that could be very helpful, but not the end of the world if I don't get that. I will want to get Isaac Newton when the time comes, so that way I can pick up the extra science bonus from universities, because in the mid game that will be a big factor. So that's what I'm going to be eventually setting up for, is really getting that mid game science strong. This fellow here, I'm going to take him down to here. I can get this warrior really strong. This will be a good warrior. Okay, so new outpost here. Not directly threatening, except this will cut off rotation for my scout. I am going to bring the scout a little east, see what's in this eastern area. There's a safe area for me to kind of set up, then I'll use that as a place to get started. So first things first, I'll do an internal trade route. I will go ahead and take that down and send that to Guayaquil. And then continue sending this fella up here and work my way south and really keep pinning this guy down. Good turn. And I'll go ahead and just pop a map tack down here just as a reference so I remember, and there's also another one up north here. So eventually I can clear these out. There's going to be a lot of activity here. As you can remember from the first episode, there were quite a few. The scout did get some good XP. So let's see, they are 25 away from level 2. Level 2 scout could be very powerful in this part of the game. I need to eventually explore this region of the map as Coupe is forward settling in this area here, so I do need to settle here quite soon. So soon priority, next priority soon will be getting that additional growth. So we'll consider, let's see here. Still 9 turns. So I'll leave that as is for now, since that is a 5 food tile, so that is still pretty beneficial. That providing a nice little bit of growth, not a bad thing to have. So definitely overall not bad position to be in. You know, this is definitely good. The pastures here will really start to kick off that culture. So this will definitely be positive. Both good trends. Continue saving up some more gold so I can buy another builder and get this started here. We'll go ahead and queue up a settler. That way I can finish out this library, start getting that extra great person point. I will need that. 5 turns, I'll get that, and start working on the next little bonus here. So definitely not bad. The more great people I get, the more I can be able to catch up.
To enhance our powers of governance.
Okay, so leaves an option here. Liang could be good for the extra builder. Doesn't hurt to have. Districts, that could be useful. Aquaculture can definitely be good. I will want to consider, since I do have early empire now, I can't actually pop in the settler card, and that could be quite useful. So free recon unit. That is not a bad thing, because I will immediately start to take that unit up north and work its way up to this region here. Get some extra gold income, wouldn't hurt. $7 gold a turn. But we'll keep that amenity, just the extra yields will help right now. I will, so that's 2 turns. That'll be 10 turns. That's gone up in cost due to me getting the civic. I will go ahead and pop this in. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and get started on that here. If I do an internal, that'll give me, let's go back here, food yields. It's a 4 production, so that's a very good tile. It's 3 food. I can actually back that off, and that does help a little bit. 16 turns. Let's focus on the growth, more importantly. So that'll be really key. I do need to get that expansion really kicking. If I had a secondary charge, if I were to keep that instead of go for Bengala, what I would have done is I would have gone for provision here. That would have been basically allowed me to preserve the population in the city. Not that big of a deal, but just something that could have been useful there. So now I'm going to rush towards political philosophy, really start working on that. Apadana is an option, but usually in a lot of runs I've seen that Apadana gets taken, so not a big deal. Preserves can be useful if I'm in a high, let's see here. Yeah, some of these tiles here, if I were to put a preserve in this area here, it would definitely not be a bad thing. It would just provide a little bit of bonuses, but not really super beneficial at the current point of the game. Just keep cutting that recon unit off. Extra gold per turn would not hurt, but 17 gold per turn is not bad. I can sell the amenity off, so I will actually do that.
In addition to
Get the boost for that. Give me a little air score so that way I can get myself into a normal age. Now that does have 5 population, so what I could always do is go for the science part of Bengala's promotion tree. That way I can gain a little bit faster progression through here. So that's an option. Victor's more of a military one. That's not really necessary at the moment. I will go for Amani. Because going to Bandar Brunei, getting me an early suzerainty would not hurt. I don't have anything in Mogadishu yet, so really that would be my best option right now, because suzerainty will allow me to start getting diplomatic favor, and I can eventually sell that off to the AI and gain a little extra gold per turn. It's another resource, but it doesn't hurt to have. Good amount of gold per turn, not bad. What that means is now I can be in a position to, let's see here. Okay. Let's do 15 gold. Pasture here would give me a little bit of production. I would make that just a little bit better for growth. That way I won't have to worry about working, say, as much of a priority towards these types of tiles. Eventually when the city grows, I can actually work on getting that additional growth faster. It's 95 gold, so that'll be too expensive because I won't be able to buy the builder. But all these pastures can be very, very helpful. Be cheaper to actually have a settle here and then buy from there. Builder will go there. That way I can work that sea tile. That'll give me an extra little bit of food. That won't hurt. Food growth will help here because I am going to be prioritizing a settler. In this position, since there's not a lot going on around him, I will go ahead and have them heal up. That way I can get that guy back up to strength. And he won't be in a compromised position. Actually, probably would have been better to move him here, but small optimization thing, because I would have been able to work on that, but not a big deal. I will consider saving enough gold to buy this, the horse tile. That way I can get that, and that'll actually be a really good tile, because the 3 food and 1 production will go up to 2 production with it. So what I'll do is... okay, so I can't get to sea tile yet. If I were to focus on that, I could get that pretty soon. So unfortunately, a little bit of wasted development, but that's fine. I will just save a charge for that when I get to that point.
steam hisses from the...
Perfect. So what I'll do is next turn, I will go ahead and start reinforcing him, and that'll keep him alive for long enough, and I can back him off. Just keep moving that fella down. I'll get him up to here. that'll give them that extra combat strength, and that'll be very helpful. Yeah, extra combat strength doesn't hurt, and also the permanent boost, which will be a 7 combat strength bonus to a unit. That's very, very helpful. We'll reinforce for a turn. Just keep them next to him. That'll give them a little combat strength, and that'll be very helpful. Take that fellow up north here. Just make sure they are growing properly. I'm declared France, so I can't steal that, but I do need to get a settler up here. So what I might do is bring this guy back and just block. Go ahead, hit him. Start working that down.
I'm also interested in creating a lasting...
Okay, they're settling seasides. That's good. They may go over here, but I'll keep an eye on that. Okay. Additional combat strength will definitely be helpful there. I will work on sailing. That way I can go ahead and really start getting that the builder embarkment. Still at war with Coupe. Good. Couple more arrow score, that doesn't hurt. I'll heal up. Buy that tile. And get him onto that tile soon. I will need to, yeah. So Maori is going to be a problem here, settling here. So eventually I'm going to have to declare war and attack that city. Eventually when he takes that city, because that is going to be a problem. So start bringing this down south as soon as possible. Just keep track of that area here. I just try to force them narrow. He settles here, fine, but try to keep these settlements here, over here. I can go ahead and buy that. I'd rather buy that now. Forces per turn. That'll start giving me something else to sell off to the AI. Because if I can keep them fighting each other, that'll help limit their growth while I work on mine. We just go ahead and take care of this problem. They'll likely attack me that turn.
The opportunity has arrived. Our people know.
It is not that life ashore is divide and rule a sound.
Okay, so this gives us the option to start working on some additional things that we need. Great people points will be useful. Unit experience, not that big of a deal right now. Our military is small enough to where that's not really going to be that beneficial. Production towards wonders, not really necessary, so I'd rather go Classical Republic. And with that in mind, I will go ahead and pop back in the production bonus. And then not currently got an envoy, so charismatic leader will make more sense. For this, I will go ahead and really, we'll see. Is there anything I can quickly... I can't. So I can't go back and do this if I need an envoy and also allow me to open up some cards. So that's a usable option. So I will do that for now. I'll keep this on until I finish clearing out some of these barb camps and this other stuff around. That way I can deal with those threats and also allow me to maintain maximum kind of military growth, at least within the reason of, you know, what my actual current, my current city status is. So these are good. This is good. That way I can really start boosting towards that, you know, getting 5 points per turn. That'll really help. The more envoys I get earlier, the more my economy can grow because I'll pump those back into Mogadishu, for example. That's not a concern because I don't have anything that's really costing me a lot of gold. The rest of these are all kind of good. Loyalty's not a concern right now. It will be eventually, but not an issue at this current moment. So these policies work. That'll also grow this a little bit faster. So perfect. And I will go ahead and start working my way down south again and get this properly started. Try to keep an eye on where Coupe is sending that settler. So let's go ahead and kill off the last of that barbarian there. That'll allow me to take that, gain some gold, get a bonus there, which also gives me an additional envoy. Perfect. So that'll give me 3, and then +2 with Amani there. So eventually what I could do is I can now take Amani off into somewhere else, and that'll actually be useful too. Actually, I may do that now, since I technically have 3. Yeah, I'll actually go ahead and do that now. I'll reassign Amani. Extra science per turn. I'd rather have the extra gold per turn right now. So I'll start working on getting that, because the boost for that is train a galley. And that being a coastal city, galley is only 11 turns. To buy it is 260. Okay. Good thing is this secured and guarantees a normal age, so I'm in a good position there. So, do have sailing. I will now start to focus on, let's see here. And definitely start working on currency. Don't recall if Hanging Gardens has been built, but it's definitely a good one to get, so I'll go ahead, just go ahead and get that started. Eventually, once I get done with that, I will go ahead and get the library, then I'll start getting that, because I can put the Hanging Gardens right here. And that'll do it. Perfect. So now I will go ahead and settle to here. And then move him here. Protect this area. Fortify. he's fortified enough, so I'll bring them back down south. Start get some additional information. I do need to be careful because I can't send them back over here because there's a likelihood that's that this bar camp up top here that's up in the top tile has already likely spawned a swordsman, and in that case then I'm actually under direct threat, so I have to be careful about that. Especially, okay, so this one got perfect. So that one got cleared out by the AI, so that's not bad. What I'll do is I'll bring this guy over. Okay. So it's just in range of 1, but not a major concern. The only thing I need to be careful about is if there is an archer there. But bring them here. Get my iron per turn going. It's 2 gold per turn. 2 gold per turn. So they have no interest in the value of it. They won't until we get to the medieval era. We'll go ahead and just take a little bit of gold per turn. Doesn't hurt. Let's keep an eye on this area with this scout. Now I will go ahead. Since Hanging Gardens will be done next turn, I will see here. Encampment's not really going to be necessary. I'm not in a direct combat situation where that's going to help here. It's not a lot of practicality. Back there. That way. Eventually want to settle another city right here. Just create a small little satellite city. And I'll go ahead and utilize that as an adjacency bonus tool. So I can put a campus here and gain a little extra bonus here. And right here is going to be a good harbor, so perfect. And that'll be a nice little setup here. They're going to get hit a little bit, that's fine. I'll go ahead and fortify them, and that'll actually keep that.
My liege, we have...
The man who has grit. Mysticism is the...
I'll keep that fella alive. I would definitely appreciate Bandar Brunei moving. That'd be very nice. Sometimes the AI does this, and they'll just have something kind of there in the way, and that can create some difficulties, but that is alright. Now what I can do is with Mogadishu, I can block his suzerainship here, or suzerainty here. Eventually when... Yeah, once Amani gets there, I would definitely like Mogadishu and Bandar Brunei to move their troops out of the way, so that way I can really get this growth going. Is what it is. 4 turns, or rather boost that a little bit. I need that to be faster. So I need to settle here and really start putting pressure. Like if I can put loyalty pressure, that'll be really good. Because then eventually what I'll do is I'll promote Amani and put her here, or put her in this area, and that'll really exert a lot of pressure into the city, and eventually that city will convert. So that's going to be really the goal, is do a passive conversion over time without really creating too many issues. Watermill would be good. Just get a little extra growth. Also gain some stronger military units. Wouldn't hurt. Getting good science per turn. Currency wouldn't hurt, but honestly, it's kind of a debate right now. Actually, would rather have a swordsman, because eventually I can promote this guy here. Something stronger. So mysticism helps there. Military tradition. Construction, that's going to take way too long for me to get, so I'm not going to be able to get the boost for that. Building a wonder, that's going to take some time. So I'll get started on some of these things, just so that way the progress is going. Dance of the Aurora, yeah. Perfect. They finally moved out of the way. Unfortunately, that does happen, is where there's so many AIs there that it kind of puts you in a bit of an unfortunate position. I will move him here and then fortify, so that way they get a debuff. First things first, look at options. +2 can be very good here. Food growth, food growth, food growth. Could swap tiles, that could be very useful. Actually, I'll go ahead and consider that. Okay, it's not updating, but that should be faster. +1 isn't bad. Eventually I'm going to be able to block suzerainty of Mogadishu. That'll keep Matthias from gaining more Diplo favor. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky call. Actually, I may go ahead and start working on a monument instead. Fortify, so that way they can't pass through very easily. That also forces him narrow, so that way he can't really settle into a good position without wasting more turns. That'll give me enough time potentially to get my development going and really start pushing out another position. Since I'm losing that tile. Let's see here. It's good. Okay, so Persia's in the game. Sometimes the game tends to throw these little tidbits of information out. Fortify, that's going to cost them a lot. See, that's going to kill me because of the river defense. So they get 20, I get 10, but it'll go the opposite way. So they'll get 10, I'll get 20. And eventually I could just keep healing up, so I'll be in less of an issue in position. So good thing is now I am blocking suzerainty of this, so now I'm basically forcing Matthias to not gain. He should be at 38, so I'll keep an eye on that. Should stay at 38. That shouldn't change. Unless he has suzerainty of something else, which Ah, right. So he has Fez. Okay. Oh, not Fez yet, but you will soon. That's fine. So you would be getting that extra point, but not a problem. Could also pump out another settler. I actually may consider doing that. Let's see here. I would much rather, since I do have plenty of time before the next arrow starts, I will actually rather get that growth going. So I think hanging gardens could be more beneficial. It's definitely going to be problematic. Yeah, that's the problem is his rapid expansion. He's expanding like very, very wide, and that's not really going to be, it's going to be a little frustrating for me at the moment because it's going to be creating some pressure. But the thing is that he's so spread that he has a lot of, I have a lot of cities here, and that loyalty pressure eventually, what I'll do is once I have another governor title, I'll put that governor title into the next Amani upgrade, which will be right here, and that loyalty per turn will start to eventually add up. So let's get this fella down here ASAP, really rush him over to this point. If I can get this city down, that'll really, really give me a nice solid foundation to work with here. Sometimes these things happen, so it just makes things a little tricky, but no problem. Sometimes that's the name of the game. I can go ahead and work. Let's see here. If I take that back, will that still be 12 turns? It's 11 now. Rather save a turn of development there. So it's going to be another couple turns until I can get this guy here. Kind of unfortunate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Not the worst thing in the world, honestly. Settled there, but he's settling there because he wants that horse tile. Honestly, not that big of a deal. I can actually take advantage of that later in the game. Because really that controls all these land tiles nearby. So eventually once that city grows. So really not that big of a loss actually. Could be a gain because that's eventually going to be a free city. Okay, so next things up is I'm going to, since he's already settled there, nothing I can do about that other than go ahead and start moving this unit back up north. This guy's going to keep tanking hits. That'll be good. He's just going to gain more and more XP, so that's fine with me. Just going to get more health. Game is making a bit of a fuss over amenities, but it's really not that big of a concern right now, really considering the situation. Next turn I get my 4th city. It's going to be good. I gain that additional development. Okay, Hanging Gardens did get taken. Now what that does mean, unfortunately,
the Lord made us all out of...
is that I will go ahead and pop in another settler. That way I can just gain a quick settler.
Our people.
Get that growth and settle another city here, which will also allow just a little bit more pressure on that city. Eventually I can take that. I'll have a nice good 6 cities to work with. And eventually start working my way west. Now this guy's finished healing up. Perfect. So now I have all this area to myself. So I have full control over this whole peninsula here. So no major issues there. I can totally live with that. Sucks I didn't get Hanging Gardens. It was pretty late to go for it, but not that big of a deal. I will put one into Fez. Actually, I will wait until I can get the card that I would want, and I will pop that in so I can gain two. Envoys out of that, and Great Scientist. Of course, Hypatia has already been taken. quite a few scientists have already been taken, so it's going to be a bit expensive. It's fine. Now let's look. So that's 3. So Maori isn't even competitive for science, which is going to be good because I can actually eventually take advantage of that late game. They're going to be far behind. That means they don't really have science focus at all. It's got 1 point per turn, but honestly, you can't really do much with the whole Great Rider thing because I believe Maori's thing, one of his abilities actually makes it, Kupe's abilities makes it such that they can't actually get Great Riders, if I remember correctly. This player here is likely going to be probably a science civ or a military civ that's taken other cities, campuses, for example, or cities with campuses. So no problem there. So I'll hold on to this envoy here. Now I'm at a point where if I were to build to wonder, that would have actually boosted this and that would have been really helpful. Fortunately, that's not the case, but that's fine. Going towards this would be useful, getting the governor title, because then I can ship Amani back down south and really start putting pressure on this city. More pressure I put on that, the better. I'm at 23 out of 27. I've got plenty of turns until the next era. So by the time the medieval era actually really gets going, I'll be in a good position. So no problems. Got enough gold. Now what I will do is, let's see, builder is 230. Builder is 7 turns. I will consider actually getting a builder up. Getting the city quickly developed will be important, so that way I can really start exerting a lot of pressure here. Great Bath, not really all that great, because I don't have that many floodplains in this particular part of the map. Let's actually check. There's not that many. So, monument, getting the loyalty will be helpful. Since I do have the ability to make a swordsman, rather. Get this guy back over here, start working up. Go ahead and get the wheel started. And all right. Well, I am happy with that episode to end at this point. Thank you for watching, and we'll go ahead and finish up here. Look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you, everyone. Take care.